Welcome back, guys. This is Impact Social, and today I have two special guests today with me. Going to give you a lot of game. We have Johnny Wimbrey, and we also have Dream Motivates. And stay tuned to hear this special podcast. Welcome back, guys. So we have two special guests today. I want to introduce these guys, and we're going to get into some good conversation. This conversation, again, if you guys know, we're Impact Society, right? So our goal is to deliver people in your corner to give you advice, give you wisdom. We're going to talk about our stories and how we went from where we were to where we are today. And I have two giants on this podcast today, right? So let's start with Johnny Wimbrey right here. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Patrick, thank you for having me on your show, man.
I'm blessed.
Congratulations on all your success and just an incredible, impactful story, man. You definitely bring the impact.
Thank you, sir. Now, for those who don't know, can you introduce yourself a little bit about where you were and how you got the platform that you are
Sure,
on today?
absolutely. I'm from Fort Worth, born and raised,
Alrighty.
not too far from here, 76119. I wrote a book called From the Hood to Doing Good.
That's right.
So my earliest memory of life was living in a battered women's shelter. I was raised around gangs and violence and drugs my entire youth. Made a lot of bad decisions. I participated, and long story short, we were sent to San Jose, California for protection, and that's where I started elementary school.
Okay.
So I would end up failing the second grade, coming back to Fort Worth. My father ends up raising me and my two older brothers. And, we were, introduced to the streets very early on. But the twist of the story is my father, if you want to get an image of my father, think of Samuel L. Jackson in the movie Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
that character raised me, like legit. So he instilled a lot of fear. So it wasn't like I could live a lifestyle of not hiding what I was doing. I had to hide it out of fear because I would be terrified to get caught by him. So in school, I ended up being, kind of like that class clown, like, you're Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type kid. So I was in trouble, quietly, but I was, got in trouble more for my mouth.
Gotcha.
But what I was doing in the streets, I never got caught for, thank God. I got a brother who did 30 years in prison. The only difference is I didn't get caught. So I just kind of, I changed my life around. My homeboy who was murdered by another friend. In the night of the wake, I took a gun and we were going to retaliate after the wake. And the mother walks up to the casket and she says, "I forgive the young man who killed my son." And here I am sitting in a church with a gun, and I have the absolute most powerful moment of my life in terms of wisdom. And I just thought to myself, well, I don't love him like that. Like if the mother had already found forgiveness, who am I to get revenge?
Yeah.
And it was that moment that prompted me to ask the preacher to meet me outside. I gave him my gun, walked away from that lifestyle, and
Wow.
had a very fast change of life. I was really, really focused, kind of like I was in the streets. Like I just brought that street mentality of not afraid to take risk, and I brought it to the real business world.
Nice.
And it kind of leads me into who I am today.
Which you're a well-known author.
Yes, sir.
Go on stages and speak at big events.
Yeah.
Been in over 30 countries, developing,
Yeah, probably over 60 now. Yeah.
leaders in the entrepreneurial game, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Unpack that a little bit, and then I want to talk about our next guest as well. But to unpack that for me,
Which I know the next guest very
yes,
well.
I know. Yeah.
It's like a baby brother to me. So I went to acting school.
Okay.
Fresh out of high school. 1 week out of high school, I enrolled in acting school in Dallas, and I got an associate's degree. And that program probably saved my life.
Okay.
I remember the very first day of school, I was a week late because I talked my way in to not having to wait for the next semester. So I ended up being able to start. And in acting
He said,
school,
I knew I was a salesperson from the beginning.
I had to get the gap. I was fearless too. So my first day of school, I'm a week late. And the first week of acting school is very emotional. It's like where everybody gets to know each other. They cry together. They get each other's stories. Like, they get in front of the room and in every class. And so I'm a week late. So that has already happened. And I walk into the room. The teacher's not in the room yet. And so I walk straight to the front of the room and I said, "Hello, my name is Johnny Wimbrey and I'm your substitute teacher today." And as soon as I'm saying that, this dude walks in, Randy Tallman, real short dude. I always saw him on TV, but I never met him. And Randy Tallman, he walks in, he goes, "If you didn't go sit your ass down, Mr. Wimber." and so the class like busted out laughing, right? Like, who is this kid like coming in? And I'm one of the youngest. I'm fresh out of high school.
What a way to make a name for yourself right up front.
But here's the thing. I had to get in front of the room and do what they did the week before. And so they get me in front of the room. They's like, "Where you from?" I said, "My name is Johnny Wimber. I'm from Fort Worth." And he said, "What?" I said, "I'm from Fort Worth." He said, "What did you say?" And I'm starting to get pissed. I'm like, I'm fresh out of high school. So I'm like, "I'm from Fort Worth." He said, "Do you mean you're from Fort Worth?" And that was the moment where I realized that every word that came out of my mouth, I was going to be held accountable. See, I could mimic Eddie Murphy. I can mimic Jim Carrey. I can mimic, I can mimic people. I can mimic cartoon characters, but I didn't have my own voice. That was the moment that saved my life. I learned how to articulate, how to speak. I can go from Crenshaw to Wall Street in a split second.
So we were earlier talking about an NIL deals, and I was saying athletes find out that their name, image, and likeness can be something that they can monetize, but most people don't realize that we all are something that we can monetize, and that even though you're not necessarily getting an NIL deal, you have to treat yourself as the product that could potentially get something like that.
Yeah. And here's the crazy thing. Even if you don't realize that, you still are doing it.
Right.
Like, you're always the product.
That's right.
The question is, are you in your favor or are you your own enemy?
Right.
And so you're always the product. I tell people that, people who complain about things that are happening in the community, and so do I, we're all guilty of it. Not doing anything is doing a lot. And so even as your product,
I'm going to hit on that in a second.
Yeah, you not knowing you're the product doesn't change the fact that you're still the product.
I'm going to hit on that in a second, because we're going somewhere with that one. We also have Dream Motivates, and I'm excited about this guy, man. We got connected, blessed to meet this young brother right here. Felt like we, from the time, really both of y'all. I mean, I remember when I met you, it was like we were already friends.
Yeah, the vibe, yeah. I was like, this dude got a story. I'm going to figure out what it is.
And the same goes with Dream, right? We met, man, bro, I felt like God just had us all aligned. And I'm so blessed to have all of us sitting in a room together on this podcast as I introduce the world to Impact Society.
Yes, sir.
And so you want to give a quick introduction as well?
I mean, first of all, pleasure being here. And shout out to Big Bros in the building. I always get excited because
he over there cheesing I know him so well, and he's like this smile on his face, man. I'm loving. I feel like we're at a barbecue right now.
I kept hiding it.
I know.
I was like, I gotta guess, but I can't tell you who it is. Yeah. He's like, what? I was like, I can't tell you who it is.
It's like he's sitting over there with a whole hand of spades right now.
I got all of it.
And he's like, what?
I'm going all in, But every now and then you have somebody that shout out to Impact Society. You have people that literally will impact your life.
Yeah. That's right.
And Johnny's one of them. Johnny Wimber impacted my life. I never forget the first time. Even before I talk about myself, I just definitely want to shout out to bro, because first time I ever heard him speak, it literally gave me a shift in my life. And I never forget, he said, winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard that, I was like, God, that was cold how he said it. And then, I just like, man, I told him, man, we was talking, and he was like, man, you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it. And I was like, so what's up with this motivational speaker thing? So you get paid for this? I was like, yeah, I get paid. He said, matter of fact, I'm trying to get this little DVD thing together. That's how long it's been.
I get my scissor reel.
Yeah, his scissor reel together. And I just need something by tomorrow, man. But, man, whatever. Anyway, he just kind of went on to the next subject. And I was thinking in my mind, like, yo, this is my opportunity. I like, let me see your scissor reel. Let me see if I can get it. He said, there, here you go, one right here. I said, all right, cool. I showed up to his doorstep the next day with 100 of them. I said, here you go. Already packaged up.
Yeah. I still have copies.
And then he said, bro, that DVD changed the game.
Yeah. That's before you can upload it and things like that. And I'll say this about Dream, man. Like, you know, when it comes when you sacrifice and you sow, it wasn't even just the DVDs, it's the time. Like he put
Oh
covers
yeah, I
on
definitely
every
didn't go to no sleep.
like it was covers on every single one of them. I'm like, bro, I just saw you in the last 10 hours. When did you do this? And I was just blown away because that's something that I would have done
Right.
for someone else.
Right.
And
And now you
Here
might
I-
have found somebody to match.
what's even crazier than that, 20 years later, I can maybe count on 3 fingers where I have met someone else who has done something like that. Not for me. I'm talking about just the story of itself.
Yeah.
And without like I wasn't famous. I wasn't like anything like that. And I've always been grateful, you know, for that moment. And, you know, Dream is a very, very methodical creator. And so when when people come to town, if anybody like I always, you know, when he said he was going to be in a studio, I immediately said, "Is it Dream?"
Whoa.
Yeah, he did.
He said he's going to be studio in Arlington because if it wasn't you, I was going to say,
Yeah.
you know, if you haven't made any commitments yet, you should probably holler at my boy Dream.
Wow. Yeah.
He's
Shout
just
out.
he's the go-to guy in this world, and he serves at a level of excellence
Right.
that most people wouldn't even understand.
I appreciate that. That's huge coming from you, and you know, it gave me another call with this, you know, book project, and I was able to help with that. But when somebody impacts your life that way, I didn't have, you know, my stepfather. You know, I've been on my own since I was 15 years old. So you know, I didn't have nobody, but so he didn't know at that second that I literally mentally adopted him as a big brother.
Right.
I say, yep, there go Big Bro right there. And every time I see him, what a Big Bro be, and it just literally manifested into that. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to J Dub, and I appreciate you giving your flowers, brother, so you can really smell them today, because it's always he's the one brother that I got that always have the craziest conversations, such as if you talk to somebody and they're saying, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey man, what you doing?" And usually they'd be like, "Man, I'm at the gym," or "I'm over here at, you know, I'm at the
I already
restaurant.
know what he gonna
I'm
say.
over here." And be like, "Man, I'm chilling in Egypt, man. What you doing?" I'm like, bro, Egypt? Like, what? What are we doing? Oh man, I'm over here, bro, with Les Brown. We kicking it. So it is just one of these guys. You know what I'm saying? So I just happened to, you know, catch him at a, you know, early stage of his amazing career, and then
Amen.
here we are. You know what I mean?
So you made a comment earlier about how did you say it? About letting things happen, or like if you letting things happen is like making things happen or something. You said it. Something
Yeah,
similar?
I think what I said was not doing something is doing a lot.
Right. Not doing
Yeah.
something is doing a lot. Okay. I wanted to talk on this.
Not saying something is saying a lot.
Not saying. Okay. So have you ever heard of the silence of Adam?
No.
Okay. Everybody blames Eve and says it's Eve's fault. Eve.
Nah, he was there.
No. The Bible says, and she turned
Yeah.
to Adam. I call it the silence of Adam.
And she handed it to him.
Yeah. I call it the silence of Adam because it was his passiveness. And I want to bring this up because we have two hard hitters in this right now. And growing up, I think all three of us have a similar, you know, upbringing. There's certain things that, but there's these moments in your life where you know, you knew a shift had to happen or a shift came, but it was somebody, I believe, there was somebody that came in your life and created that impact that was no longer silent or showed you how to no longer be silent.
Yeah.
I want each of you kind of give me that part of like how that resonated with you, because you're no longer silent. You're speaking now. You're motivating. You're teaching people. You're giving them the mindset,
Yeah.
because we understand that if we don't do this, if we're not giving a platform to give the information and the truth, we were talking about this the other day. Everybody wants to live on perception, but I don't believe in that. Because if you write a 6, is it a 6 or a 9? And everybody argues this all the time. It's like the number one conversation. Is it a 6 or a 9?
Yeah.
And I go, well, it's either a 6 or a 9. No. It's 6 or based on what side of the number you're on. No. Because one of us is right and one of us is wrong, depending on which side, but we need to know where the absolute truth line is. So it's not based on perception, it's not based on belief, it's based on what you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
How to,
I'm gonna go in order. So let's talk about Eve. Like Eve hands him the apple, right? He was there. He was silent. He didn't stand up. But it was our Heavenly Father who told him to stay away from the tree of life. But she actually admitted that, when the serpent asked her, is it true that he told you? And the only reason he doesn't want you to eat from this is because your eyes will be open. That means she knew. So that means that he wasn't silent about the truth. Adam taught her because she wasn't there when that command went forth. He taught her the commandment. So she knew, but she still took it. So the teacher was silent. It wasn't just the husband. He was the teacher of the message, and he was silent. So not saying anything created a mess that we're still dealing with to this day.
right.
Now, there is a season of silence. There is a posture of silence. There is leadership in silence, but it's not silence of fear. It's silence of authority. If I'm designed to protect you, sometimes I have to be quiet. If I see my son about to put his hand into a fire and I say no the first time, and then there's another time I see him doing it and I'm being silent. I'm not being silent. I'm being silent as the authority. Because I've already told you. Now you're going to find out for yourself. Daddy tried to protect you. But now I see that you need to you need to figure out what it means to walk away from my protection, right? So I look at all that and I love dealing with perception because, perception is based on your belief system. And I'm just finally got myself to a place. I just turned 50. And when you say like wisdom just starts kicking in, I would say that I've always been about a decade ahead of my peers in terms of my thinking. And that hasn't always been a good thing too, because it's a very small circle that I can reach out to now. And where I'm at in my life right now, being right doesn't matter. I'm supposed to follow the way, the truth, and the life. So if I'm being right, then how can there be room for truth? All I gotta do is point people to the truth. And the truth is it's a 6 for you, it's a 9 for me. Come stand in my position, I'll stand in your position, and then tell me what it turns into. So we gotta get good at exposing people to the truth, not exposing lies. In our youth, we move with strength. Like, we run fast, we pick up cars, like, we just do stuff to impress people but as you cross over into wisdom, you win with your mind.
Yeah.
And I have taken so much power back in my life by not wanting to be right. I just want the truth. If I can get to the truth as fast as possible, we all win.
Yeah.
And so when I see, especially people of authorities that are just arguing about stuff, and they're right,
Yeah.
but who profits from being right?
Right. So if you're arguing with a fool, the people that are watching don't know who's the actual fool.
They'll never know which one the fool is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've heard him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's your take on? I mean, how somebody introducing truth or to your life versus letting you live with a perspective, no longer being silent. Like has that issue came up? No longer being silent, deciding.
Yeah, I mean,
You're good at being silent when it's when it's in your favor. I've seen him be in rooms that he could master and like just take it over.
He's
and
back
he's just
there
sitting there. He's just
slacker.
watching. He's watching. He's observing.
You know who taught me that? You did.
Did I?
We were on the way to meet up at Cheesecake Factory. It was me, you, and a very close friend of yours. I don't know if I can say his name, but
Oh, yeah, you can.
you, and Halton.
Holton Bugs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said to
Oh, yeah,
me,
that's right.
"Little bro, this is a room that you're to be seen, not heard. Listen." And nobody, I'm a grown man. What you talking about? But because it came from you,
Yeah.
I literally, and then I seen why I was supposed to listen in that room. Because now I'm in a room of just, it's craziness. And on this at this table, craziness. And I just took that, and just learned, because there's going to be some times that I just need to consume the information. I don't really need to interject, just listen, because if you can be a good listener, you can then be a good teacher, and then you can go ahead and teach others, and then you're learning yourself. So how do you end up learning without listening? And so when I was little, my stepfather, the crazy thing is I would get all A's on my report card. I was in something called TAG, talented and gifted. So they would take the smartest kids and they'll put them in this thing called talented and gifted. And so I would literally come home with hundreds on my report card. So I was like said it was genius or whatever. However, on the report card, it was E's next to all the grades, and the E stood for excessive talking.
Yeah. Mine
I
was
thought it meant for excellent.
Mine was N for needs improvement.
Yeah, mine came with E. So all these hundreds,
Yeah.
but I had an E next to each one of them. And so I would come home to my stepfather with the report card, and he would look at the E's and say, "Go to your room." And he'd come in with a belt, and he would beat me because of the E's. And after that, he would also tell me that I need to write down, "I will not talk in school," 500 times. So I'm in here saying, "I will not talk in school. I will not talk in school. I will not talk in school. I will not," 500 times, on top of getting a beat down. Ironically, life goes on, and I become a certified speaker
All right.
with Dr. Eric Thomas, and actually my big brother is a motivational speaker. So all I'm doing now is communicating and speaking.
And that's kind of why I'm bringing this up, because I was the class clown, and I think it really came from brokenness, right? And you're broke at home, but your only time to like really get attention and stuff like that is when you're going to school. Eventually, I've had some conversations. I grew up, again, you're looking at where the generations are going. We got a lot of, these youngsters, man, the crime rate and the stuff that they're doing now, at least back when it was my generation, like, you had to go to the big homie.
I was about to say, you ain't hitting those streets without permission like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you had to
Not
go
like
to
that.
COC or somebody. Yeah, wasn't no, you just do whatever you want to. These youngsters, they don't want leadership. They don't want somebody telling them what to do. And I had a conversation with a guy, and this is where it came from when you said what you said. It made me remember this guy who's actually a board member of the Conservative Vice Lords. And he said, "Man, we're just letting them kill themselves so that generation can die off."
Wow.
And I was like, "What?" And I was talking about Silence Adam. Like, no, I don't believe in that.
Right.
Like, somebody's got to put the rod on these guys. We got to bring the truth and da-da-da-da-da. And so that's where I wanted to get you guys' perspective, because at the end of the day, we're motivational speakers.
You know what that means?
Yeah, go ahead.
That means that the streets have adopted the thoughts of the politicians. Because the politicians will draw lines to keep certain people in a certain area and let them kill off. As long as you don't get outside of those lines, kill each other off. And now the streets are adopting that, which means, the danger of that is there's zero accountability.
Right.
Like the Bible says, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety.
Right.
Counsel is meaning you speak up, you get involved. So if there is no counsel, the opposite of safety is danger. So if that's duplicating in the streets at the highest level, that's an implosion.
Right.
It's a guaranteed implosion.
And I'm a firm believer, like, we have to decide that we're going to bring a voice back. And then, maybe even giving these youngsters a platform to express why they believe what they believe, because it's not the same. We're not on the same page. The older generation and the younger generation, it's not the same page.
Yeah.
As how we grew up.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I have a couple more questions. What separates the leaders who can build movements versus the ones who just build teams?
I think the difference between being purpose motivated or, money motivated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think though people who don't know how to balance those two things, they don't know how they I got to pick a side. Either I'm money motivated or I'm purpose driven. You could be purpose driven that generates money. And so when I see people who are creating, you know, massive teams, and I've created massive teams, and the reason my teams have always been some of the strongest teams, and I would say I've always been at the top 3% of anything I've ever built, and I think the reason that my team stood out is because I built people
Okay.
that became a team. I built character. I built personalities. I built leaders who became a team. I didn't build a team that became leaders. I built people that became a team,
Yeah.
and they became leaders. So it's just, you have to be very purposeful in what you're building. If I can go back and do everything over again, the one thing that I would focus more on is building character. And I got over 30 millionaires under my belt.
Really?
Yeah. And most of them were broke when I met them. If I can go back and implement character, because I would say about 95% of them don't have it anymore. And so there's something that I didn't teach them. I taught them how to obtain wealth. I taught them how to get it. I didn't teach them how to sustain it. So in my book, Building a Millionaire Mindset, if you read, there's a chapter in there where I talk about, the title of the book is Gain, Maintain, and Sustain Generational Wealth or Long-Lasting Wealth. And the reason I wrote this book is I wrote the book as a cheat sheet for my kids. So if anything ever happened to me, they understand the mindset of daddy. Like how did daddy come from,
Right.
battered women's shelter to building an empire? And one of the things that I wanted them to know more than anything else is if I could do it all over again, I would have slowed down and built young husbands, young wives, young people of character. And that is something that I'm looking forward to fixing and repairing, because it is a mess and I gotta clean it up.
That's why society is actually a group of people. It's not necessarily like a place. It's just a group of people who are building towards a similar goal.
Yeah.
And we want to do something like that. Coach K, Coach K came to one of our conferences and he said, he recruits talent with character, not talented characters.
Yeah. That's good.
He recruits talent with character, not talented characters.
That's good.
And
That's good.
And I like that. The question, you want me to ask it?
Yeah, one more time.
Is what separates the leaders who can build movements from the ones who just build teams?
Movement is coming from, that word momentum. I've seen so many different people go fast and crumble. And I think the foundation is the reason why because if your foundation is the money, you will crumble. But if your foundation is God, integrity, and purpose, and just like any structure, it'll be more sustainable. So that's the way I look at it. Because, I build homes. So when I build a home, like even we got this spot in Dallas called Lake Ridge. And before you build in Lake Ridge, that's one of the spots for a fact that you have to get a soil test.
What they call PI test, plasticity index test.
You have to get the test because if you don't, and it's houses over there right now, beautiful. I'm talking about some of the nicest you ever seen. Literally, you'll see the cracks.
Yeah.
It's probably about 2 or 3 inches apart from each other because they literally missed that step and didn't check the soil.
Right.
And I believe that when your purpose is based on where you want to be foundational, then you can then build, and after that momentum happens. Now that might take a little bit longer because if you're chasing, so when I lost my mother in January 5th, 2013, I literally, matter of fact, J-Dub was one of the first people I called, you know what I mean? And the name of my book that I was writing, I had to rewrite my book because his name was called Out Earn the Problem. And I had to rewrite the book because now I'm having to out earn another problem, which is I lost my mother. So now I had to scratch it out because I couldn't call Jeff Bezos to get my mama back. So now what does money mean? At that second, for one, it was crazy. For 1 second, I was thinking to myself, how can I out-earn this? And it was the only way I could out-earn it was to be in a high frequency with God. That was the only way. So I'll go back to my foundation. And I was able to turn that pain into purpose. And that brought me momentum. So I look for the leaders that were in that purpose.
Right.
And you can literally tell those people because they're still doing it today. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because their foundation was strong. And that's what helped me. And that's how I could tell. So you when you dealing with people that just trying to chase the money, I chase the relationships, and now the money chases me.
Right.
I say something.
Yeah.
I want you to write that book, Out Earn the Problem, because earn is not just defined by money. Earn can be defined by perseverance. Continue to build. Like, he's very good with one-liners. He's very good with branding and titles. And if you don't write that, somebody else is. I like it. Out Earn the Problem. That's a T-shirt. That's a hat.
You talking about like the one I got on?
That's a slogan. There you go. Bam. Yeah. There you go. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, the
I see
book.
Dream motivates that all the time.
The
And
book is coming.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes life can distract us, and there's a pause, but that pause does not mean cancellation. You know what I mean? Like, Les Brown called me about 3 weeks ago, and he's like, "May I speak to Les Brown Jr.?" I'm like, I gotta wake up to this, right? I wake up to it. I was like, "Yes, sir. How you doing?" He's like, "That video that you just posted," he said, "that's something that I would have done. I need you to delete that." He's like, "You're just like me." He said, you're just like me. You got to delete that. He said, "It's true, but you have to delete it. Everybody ain't ready for a word like that." I was like, "Yes, sir." So he's always held me accountable and things like that. But it doesn't mean the message dies. It just means the way I delivered it was not favorable to my position of who he says that I am. He said, "Johnny, you're from the hood to doing good. You got the building a millionaire mindset. He literally says, your book is the new Think and Grow Rich. Nobody knows it yet, but you are from the hood to doing good." So he was reminding me of my foundational message because he thought I was getting away from it. And the truth is I was.
Wow. You felt that.
Oh yeah.
That was one of those, okay.
I've never.
I think you've hit me with a couple of those.
I've
before.
uppercutted
yeah.
Dream a few times.
I was like, okay, I'll take that
He
one.
called me a year later talking about, remember that time you told me?
Cuts deep.
It cuts deep.
He like a year later, like,
I mean, imagine going in the room and he looks at you and says, "You're just be seen and not heard."
Bro, I was like, yo, we at the Cheesecake Factory. I can't say nothing. I ain't say one. When I tell you, I was scared to talk to the waiter.
man, look, I have been in settings where I'm the guy pouring water. I'm the guy like escorting people to the restroom and standing outside as security. And that was my way of being in the room
Yes, being in the room.
for a long time.
Yes.
I have served on the level where I had holes in my shoes and I was afraid to cross I would keep my feet flat
Because you didn't want people seeing.
because I had holes in my shoes.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, I'm around people that could literally snap their fingers and change my life. But I'm there to serve and I'm there to be around them. And that's where I learned it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm to be seen, not heard.
Yeah.
So this, and I think again, it goes back to this. We're talking about accountability. We're talking about, having people in your life to sharpen one another, right? I mean, again, I think I'm looking at this younger generation, and I'm hoping that this podcast is going to really reach the younger generation and this young adult generation, where kind of social media has deteriorated that part of the character where, you can get to information on the internet. I don't need you to tell me what to do. I can go get this information. But let unpack that. What's your take?
Man, I have a whole course, a whole chapter. I could talk about mentorship for 7 days, and it just be different levels. Like, we're peeling back the layers. One of my favorite quotes, like my quote, like one of my favorite quotes from me it came out when I was on stage. You ever have a moment and you be like,
Man, that was good.
yeah,
That's
but you can't show it. Like you be like, I meant to say that. Like that was in the.
This is what I do.
But you gotta like, I meant to say that. But in your inside, you're like, dang.
Yeah.
Somebody clip that for me.
I just dropped the mic on
that,
everybody.
you got that,
right? I'm hitting myself right now. And I said, I surround myself around the thinking that outthinks me.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that.
And the way I said it was, I said what I normally say is, I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to know everything. And then I just continue to go. And I said, so I surround myself around the thinking that outthinks me. I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to articulate that. And I've never been able to articulate it in those short few words. Mentorship is mandatory.
Mandatory.
It is mandatory to elevate.
It's undervalued to the fullest to me.
Well,
Like for instance, you know, you ever heard, you know, you've been in some of those rooms, and I've been in these rooms where it costs crazy money to be in there because of it. But after you come out, there's something going to be. So a lot of people miss that opportunity to get in that proximity just because their thinking wasn't the right way.
Right.
And the mentorship is everything.
I remember there was a season of my life, I was so hungry for mentorship that, you know, when I say I served, like I would be the first car in the parking lot. And my wife is sitting next to me looking at me like we're newlyweds. She's like, I thought you said it started at this time. I said, it does. Like, why are we so early? Because I want to be here. And I would get frustrated by people that would get distracted. I'm like, how could you be getting distracted right now? Like why are you out, you know, why are you outside by the restroom talking to your homie? There's somebody in there pouring their heart out. And I didn't understand. God had me in a place where my hunger is unexplainable even to this day. I look back at that and I'm like, that was weird. I was the weird guy.
Yeah.
Like I was the strange kid, right? But I was just so hungry for a voice that can stretch me and protect me.
Yeah.
The reason I said that mentorship is mandatory, because if someone sees one of my videos, or, you know, someone posts a picture of my book and says, I'm reading Johnny Wimbrey's book, he's my mentor. No, I'm your inspiration. A mentor is someone who can tell you no.
Right.
If you can't pick up the phone and call me and I say yes or no, I'm not your mentor.
Yeah.
And in my book, I talk about this. A mentor can say no. If they can't say no to you, they are your inspiration. You don't even have access to them. How can they be your mentor? Iron sharpens iron. How can iron sharpen iron if we can't fellowship?
Right.
If my voice can't hit your voice.
That's right.
If I can't interrupt you. So mentorship to me, I mean, I do a whole session on mentorship.
Yeah, mentorship.
People who
Big time.
don't value and honor mentorship
Yeah.
will flatline.
Yeah.
They will flatline because you don't have an authority and position to protect you.
Big time.
No covering.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on that for people that don't understand. I want to dumb it down to the ridiculous. Now, I don't know whoever is in this room or on looking at this podcast. Back in the day, there was a game. I know y'all played it, Mario Brothers.
Oh, y'all can beat it with one man.
You know what I'm saying? Or one man. And you already know, like, it had 9 worlds.
Times 4
Remember?
levels.
Exactly. All the levels.
Yeah.
And you go in there, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. And you literally are going through one word, the next word get harder. Here come the turtles with steroids, bro.
Right.
Here come the bullets.
Yeah,
it was
the
one
ship,
world.
The ship
Yeah.
with the bullet, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
bro, it's one world that like
Right.
everything's coming at one time. Pop, pop, pop. There's no way to even. You had to get cold at this thing.
And the princess was ugly.
Yeah, like I did all this for the princess. But the crazy thing is, there was these warp zones,
Right.
Yeah. You skip it.
and you ain't had to go through none of that.
Right.
That's what mentorship is, dog.
Yeah. I like
You
that.
mean to tell me that all I gotta do is go through a Johnny Wimbrey warp zone,
Yeah.
That's a good way. I like
and
that.
now I get to save my own damn princess?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't have to get hit with all the mushrooms, the turtles, the bullets. All I had to do is skip from one world, go to the next world because I listened and I applied the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge that was taught.
I like that.
And now I don't have to go through what took somebody that was in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Impact Society was in you've been
Since 2005.
since 2005.
That's right.
Yeah.
You met me 7 days ago.
That's right.
It's here.
Right.
Warp Zone.
Right.
Yeah.
How powerful is that, bro?
Right.
Success loves speed.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna piggyback. The warp zones I've mastered, but you can't forget the maze.
Ooh,
You can warp to the end,
for sure.
but if you don't know that maze,
boy,
you're stuck.
oh, you out of there.
You'll time out every single time.
You out of there.
So take the warp zone, get the mentorship,
Yeah,
but pay attention.
yeah,
Pay attention. When you find yourself in the atmosphere of people who you consider great or have great qualities, pay attention.
yeah.
Pay attention, be purposeful, and be in the moment. One thing that I can tell people is just because you're in the room, it doesn't mean you're there.
Ooh.
Like you may be physically here, but you're not
Yeah.
you're not there. You're not present. And one thing about me is, man, when I invest money,
I want to get my return.
I don't care what's going on.
Right, I'm here.
I'm a street guy. I'm a hustler. So my money, I'm here. Like I'm here because I spent money. And sometimes when I got things for free or hooked up, I never treated it there would definitely be a disconnect. I would have to put more attention to be there. But there's something about investing in yourself.
What I tell you yesterday?
Yeah.
You remember what I told you? I said if they don't pay attention.
That's right.
There you go. Yeah.
And it's crazy. You almost have to, in sometimes paying is not tangible, like dollars USD. Sometimes paying is paying your time.
Sweat equity.
Yeah.
and stuff.
You're going to have to put the time. Like, shout out, matter of fact, your time is worth more than the USD.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes you have to put your time in front of it. If you're
Right.
trying to place yourself, you don't have it. Some people are like, man, I don't have it, man. But what you do have it, you got to figure out how to be a servant
Mm-hmm.
to serve your way into that situation for mentorship. You might not have it, but that mentor might need you. And next thing you know, he's calling you to be on a plane
Right.
with him just to
Yeah.
film something for him. And you're in the room filming.
You know what would be fun for me these days? Like organically, like if I had a reality show of me serving in rooms of people that haven't even achieved the level of success that I've achieved. But I would learn so much by being around that young energy.
Oh, yeah.
That go get like I would serve on that level in disguise, just so
disguise.
nobody would know who I am.
That'd be
just to
good.
glean from this new energy. Like these there's
So instead of undercover boss, it'd be undercover servant.
yeah. Undercover mentor, whatever. But I'm qualified to mentor everybody in this room. But I'm hungry to know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah, because there's a new knowledge that you got to know.
Oh man.
There's a new now like this. Look. Public service announcement for all three of us. There's gonna be two type of businesses: business that understand AI, and businesses that are gonna go out of business.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
And that's some serious stuff. I'm like, bro, hold on. And it's going so warps. You talking about the warp zone?
Yeah.
This stuff is, you know what I mean. And so as I'm I do marketing.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, hold on, man. You mean tell me, boom, 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 just so you're having to study this. So how do you do that? You find out a mentor or somebody is doing, or go the long route
Yeah.
And learn the hard way.
and go through the warp. You don't miss all that. So that's the same thing with mentorship. Everything that we're doing, we just got to partner up
Yeah.
and go to faster because, bro, we only have the thing of life is it ain't doing nothing but this right here.
Right.
So get it out the way.
That's why, growing up, man, I hated reading books. And then I realized for me, like, I could expedite my journey by reading good books.
Oh, yeah.
Why would I want to read a book that is going to stay fiction forever?
Yeah.
I want to read a book that's going to change my mindset, shift my attitude, upgrade my, right?
Yeah.
And so, going segue to that though, we are people overcoming fear. I wrote this down. You speak to thousands worldwide, right? And again, you as well. But for the everyday person who's afraid of rejection or failure, what's the first practical step of taking that leap of faith, and deciding we're going to get in brand, we're going to do this, taking that leap of faith and decide, like, because if you have this rejection, if you feel like you're not worthy and stuff, how does somebody?
I definitely need to jump on that right quick. Understanding truly the recipe of manifestation. That's how you do it. And I ain't just talking the cliche stuff. Like literally understanding manifestation. Because if you really understood it, you wouldn't be so afraid. And then test it out on small things first. Like, okay, in order for us to, and I'm pretty sure you probably could kill, both of y'all could kill me in basketball. And that basketball is not my thing. However, I had the privilege to take a ball and actually went in. You know what I mean? And I looked at the ball and I looked at the goal. I looked at the ball, looked at the goal, and in my mind, the ball was going in before I shot it. And it happened. And I remember the first time it happened, I was like, yo, but it didn't happen the second time. But maybe I was just more concentrated on that time. So I just started doing small things. Okay, let me try this. If I put this out there, will it work? Boom. It worked. I did it again. Then I started reading. I heard so is a man thinking, so is he. I just kept on hearing stuff like that. Like, and then I even, it just kept going in, and I heard E.T. say, which is profound, when he was speaking one day, and he was like, look, what I need you to do is speak what you seek until you see what you said.
Speak what you seek until you see what you said.
Yeah.
Man, y'all dropping some gems today.
That's cold. And so that will, if you literally practice small things like that,
Yeah.
just something small, and like, dang, that worked. Then get something bigger. Dang, that worked. Then get something bigger. I knew when I met Johnny, he was going to be a lifetime brother for me. He didn't know it, but I said, yep. And I tried it on Johnny for my own mental. And I said, this is somebody I need to be around. And I'm speaking it. And I did it. And so it cancels out all the fear, because now I understand manifestation. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. So is a man thinking, so is he. I can, I will, I must. And I think this will help people stop procrastinating, stop having the fear of doubt, stop having, overthinking things. Just do it.
So when somebody's dealing with that imposter syndrome, though, right? They know who they were. They're dealing with this imposter syndrome. And you're giving, you're talking about the blueprint, if they have the blueprint. But again, there's certain people out there, they don't feel like they have anything, right? Can you help them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I look back at little Johnny and it blows my mind, because even with all my circumstances, I never entertained failure. And I remember my homeboys would come to my house and I wouldn't let them inside my house because I was embarrassed of what the inside of my house looked like.
I know that.
They lived in the same neighborhood. Like, I don't want them to see what they see every day.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I know this is not where I'm supposed to be. And for some reason, I never thought to myself, fool, they're going to see exactly what they see when they go in their house. What I'm saying is, there's something that has always triggered inside me that said there's more.
Yeah.
So one of my quotes is, you can't consult your past to determine your future. And I have repeated that so much to myself that I forget where I come from in terms of it being a limitation.
Right. Right.
So my message to people that are focused on where they come from and what they've been through, my message to them is serve your way out of that mindset.
Yeah.
And as a speaker, you know, I was speaking in Nazareth one time. I know that sounds crazy, but
See what I'm saying?
just,
See what I'm
it
saying?
just rolls off my tongue.
I was speaking to some Martians
like
on the
this.
moon one
Hey,
day.
man, I was
And
in
sometimes I
Jerusalem,
say this
right?
stuff and I don't even
Yeah.
think to like, okay, you need to like let people know that you know this is not normal.
Nazareth.
So I was speaking in Nazareth.
Jerusalem. Hey, I was stopped by Jerusalem.
I was spoken in Jerusalem too.
There we go.
But so I was speaking in Nazareth, and when I'm on stage, like all over the world, I say things like,
That's-
you know, I wrote the book From the Hood to Doing Good. So people like, what, you know, does anything good come from the hood?
Yeah.
I've always did a play on words when I'm on stage. Does anything good come from the hood? Talking about Stop 6, Eastwood, whatever. And I'm in Nazareth on stage and I'm saying it, and then I realize this is where it comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anything good come out of Nazareth? That's where I got it from.
There you go.
When they were talking about the Messiah, like, does anything good come out of Nazareth? And they said it in a demeaning way. And I turned a demeaning thing and made it my power statement. And it was a full circle moment when I said it in Nazareth. And anybody in that room who saw me, they saw me pause.
Hey, look, let me tell you, he's 100%. J-Dub, I might not hear from bro all year. But he gonna call me around Christmas time. He's like, yup, it's time. I'm like, all right, here we go. And we do it every year. We go
Yeah.
to the Walmart in his hood.
He breaks out the cameras, we record
Here
it.
we go. It's time to record. And
Yeah.
we literally rush to Walmart. It looked like a whole
We're in
Fox
and out
Sports
about
News.
10 minutes.
We in there about 10 minutes. J-Dub giving out,
We
just
probably-
paying for people, just giving out
Yeah.
hundreds, just going through the whole Walmart saying, let me pay for your groceries. Let me pay for you. Single
Yeah.
mom? Let me pay for your groceries. You single mom? Let me pay for your groceries. You single mom? Pay for your groceries.
Yeah.
Single mom? Pay for your groceries. I'm
That's
in the
dope.
back like this.
That's
Like
dope.
Yeah.
I'm filming like
And I'm ready to go.
I'm filming it like
I'm ready to go just as quick.
I'm
'cause-
filming like this. And the last joint, the last time we went out there, I said, this dude right here, man. We come out, we're like, hey man, we gotta get out. Security's telling us we gotta go. He's like, hey man, meet me at the car. I was like, where you at? He out there in the front. I don't even tell the car he's in. He's in this crazy car. I'm like, bro, really? But just let you know, yo, it's something crazy. And so just letting you know that he literally is saying what he like when he says stuff like that, he literally does it. Like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know how not to be what I say I'm doing. Like I don't know what it feels like to be a hypocrite of who you say you are. I think everybody knows what it feels like to be a hypocrite because we all, you know, we don't show up 100% at anything that we say we're going to do. But to say you are something and you're not, I thank God I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it, you know. I had some Jewish guys call me one time, and they offered me my own church, and like we could build a whole ministry around you. They started naming big names like so and so, like so and so. And what that told me was, I'm not the first person they've done this to. They find talent, like unshakable talent. I'm talking about like. And they will build a church. So now I'm wondering, like, do these people really own their churches? Are they all puppets? And it's like, I was like, man, look, you know, if my Heavenly Father calls me into ministry, I will answer that call. And then he said, you don't understand how much money you can make. And then I said,
Wow.
that's exactly why I won't do it.
Yeah.
And I said all that to say this. I know that it's hard to say no to those phone calls. So can you imagine being a young blah, 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 like some of the greatest ministers that are out there, and they get that phone call? I wonder how many of them has said no like I did. It's hard. I mean, I'm talking about guarantee set up for life, television. I can't think of one speaker on stage that I'm intimidated to go behind or in front of. I mean, literally not one. And I don't think any minister out there can do what I can do from stage if I was a pastor, just based on my anointing, my gift. And to say no,
That's strong.
laughingly said no. Like, you kidding me? That's exactly why I wouldn't do it. I would never, like, I would be terrified to step into ministry with money on my mind. Like, terrified. I said all that to say this. There are people who are not organically walking in what they're supposed to do,
Mm.
but it doesn't mean they're not anointed to do it.
That's right.
Just because I'm anointed to do it doesn't mean he's called me to do it.
Wow.
But if he calls me, oh yeah, it's on. I got zero fear. Listen, I'm at a point in my life right now, it would be my honor to lay down my life to serve my Heavenly Father. I would love to take my last breath saying his name.
Was your faith? Is that what a change, a turning point in your life? Is what, and then today you're just a mature in faith, or
You know,
or did you come to faith later on? Like,
man, I've always believed, you know, in God. I just always have. I just didn't understand like I understand now. The way I understand it now, you know, how people don't sin because, you know, they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to go to hell, whatever it is. I don't think that's it. I think it's, you know, I do my best to stay in the will of my Heavenly Father because I want to make him proud of me. So I'm not motivated by fear. I used to be motivated by fear. Now I'm motivated, like I see my kids, like I don't want them to be afraid of me. I want them to want to make me proud. And if we're made in his image, then maybe that's what he wants from us. Like, it's not about being perfect. It's not about the mistakes that we've made. It's like, you know, am I making him proud? And then all that fear goes away.
so I'm a theological. I have my theological degree,
All right.
and
Congrats.
the first time I learned about sin, it's kind of similar, right? Like, I didn't grow up as a Christian. I mean, I grew up around it and stuff, but there's a long story behind that. But I didn't definitely become a Christian until I was an adult. But when I first did, it was like preachers were preaching like, don't sin. And so I got scared to be the best version of myself because I was scared that a little of the old Pat,
Yeah.
prideful guy, or the,
Yeah.
might come out and that might make me fall into sin. And then I found out that the word sin is not a Christian term. It's actually an ancient archer's term that was brought into the church or brought into scriptures.
Yeah.
But it was an ancient archer's term, and sin meant to fall short. But what it really meant was that you're not practicing your craft and trying to perfect this. You're not obsessed with hitting your target and going through the steps of practicing. If you ever look, I think it's Lars Anderson. It's on YouTube. There's a video that shows you ancient archery, and this guy could literally like jump off a wall, grab two arrows in the air, and shoot two
Jeez.
targets. Like, that's how intense.
He had switches.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's how intense ancient archery was back then, right?
Right. I mean, it makes sense.
So ancient
golly.
archery was a whole nother level of accuracy. But
To me, that's the Olympics
discipline-
right there. That's
But
Olympics.
the
Yeah, for sure.
discipline. Well, so that's the funny thing is our archery today. You just stand there,
Yeah.
but back then you had to literally, if an arrow was flying at you, you could catch the arrow, turn around, and shoot it back at the guy.
I can have this
Lars
I
Anderson.
can have these
think it's Lars
conversations
Anderson.
all day. I love this.
Yeah, I want to say it's
man.
Lars Anderson
Yeah.
has a whole YouTube channel, video that shows you
Send me that.
how he's
Yeah,
done
definitely want to check that one.
ancient
Definitely send
archery.
that to me.
Yeah.
And when I saw
Ooh, I
that,
love
and
that.
I understood that, wow, sin is an archer's term, and this is what ancient archery looks like. Then really, sin is you not deciding that you're really going to be obsessed about practicing your craft,
Yeah.
making yourself, because you are the archer. If you're not hitting this target, it's because sometimes you're a Christian, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you want to know the word, sometimes you don't. You're not in this every day. But the one who doesn't fall into sin is the guy who's in it every day, who shows up every day, who's practicing every day. When the lights are off, like Kobe in the gym, when no lights were on. That's why
Yeah.
he could be at the level that he is.
Yeah.
And the elite, you guys are elite in your field, is you're showing up every day.
Man, first of all, I love that analogy, and I learn a lot from ancient ways, because I do believe that, before the world programmed us to be who we are today, we were superheroes. Like I just really, you see these Red Bull guys and girls like jumping out of airplanes, like flying in bodysuits, like that that level of life was a norm at some point. I'm not saying we flying around in suits, but I'm just saying mastering something.
Yeah.
Like we got people. There's no reason to master anything anymore because everything can be handed to us. It's right here in our hand. So we're losing who our Heavenly Father created us to be. For me, when I think, the word says that as a man thinketh in their heart, so are they, right? So whatever you focus on expands. That's kind of how we say it today. And if I focus on negative, if I focus on not doing negative, negative's going to be everywhere I look.
Yeah.
Don't spill that. Whoop.
Yeah, because I'm focused on
Exactly.
I'm focused on things that are negative. But if I focus on the positive, if I focus on the way I say it in my book is, if I focus on obstacles, I'm going to manifest obstacles. But if I focus on opportunities, I'm going to manifest opportunities.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody like listening to me right now, and there's one thing that you can grab from this message is you have to be accountable. You said it earlier. Accountability, that's manhood. I can't speak for a woman because I'm a man. But for me, accountability is manhood.
Right.
Yeah.
Accountability is being able to look a brother in the eye and say, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wronged you. My apologies. I don't care if you accept my apology or not. I'm not saying that to you. But in my mind, I don't care if you accept it. I want you to accept it. But I'm not apologizing for you. I'm apologizing for me.
Right.
Because that's my character. So accountability and understanding. Here's what I can tell you right now. 100% of every mistake I've ever made, 100% of every time I've ever dropped the ball, 100% of every time I let me down or somebody who cared about me down, there's only one common denominator. I was there.
You were there.
That's accountability. So it's always my fault.
Yeah.
Like if you slap me, I am probably going to slap you back.
Yeah.
But that's my fault.
Yeah.
It's my fault
myself in
that I
this
don't have the
situation.
maturity. It's my fault that I don't have that in me to figure out how can, like, you keep attacking me like that. That's a different story. But you've got to take accountability for
Yeah.
your weaknesses
Yeah.
of where you're
you
not
end up.
mature. Yeah, I'm just not mature in that area yet. And I
Right.
accept that. So I warn people, don't slap me.
I might not be there yet.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be no
I'm
Will
not there
Smith up
yet.
in here.
Yeah. Right.
No, man, that's amazing. If you gotta just give one piece of advice that a piece to the listeners out there right now, because again, Impact Society, we want to create impact through mindset. Let them know that there's hope. All of us have a story, and if they go look us up, they can find this dirty past, but
Yeah.
they can see this bright future. One good advice for that listener to let them know that, man, there's hope, but you got to keep driving.
Man, I gotta give him his flowers. I heard it from him first, and J Dub told me, he called me one day. I'm trying to, being a motivational speaker is not the sexiest thing. It ain't. Now you're trying to motivate the world when the world just want to probably turn up in the club and hit a bottle. And I'm literally, I want to get in here. I want to be flying back and forth to Nazareth. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Flying, I'm
You
trying to
actually
get
can't
in.
fly
I'm-
and to Nazareth,
Oh,
but
thank
Tel
you.
Aviv.
Thank you for the
Okay.
education.
See, that's how you know he's actually been there.
Exactly. I want a warp
You can't
zone
do
to Nazareth.
He's trying to go bigger.
Yes. And he told me something cold, bro. He told me something cold, and I said, "Yo, you know what? This is what I want to do, and I'm going to do." And I don't know if you remember this. This was about 4 years ago, and you said, "Dream, let me tell you something. It's better to be prepared and not called than be called and not prepared."
Yeah.
And my message for anybody listening would be, make sure that you're prepared for the call. Like, whatever you want to do, obviously it's going to take you're dreaming about it. You want it. in order for you to be prepared, you're going to have to practice at it. You're going to have to, dive into it. You're going to have to get educated. You're going to have to get mentors. You're going to have to embed, if this is something you want to do. If you want to play with it, play with it. But I'm talking to the people that this is something you want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to be prepared for the call. It's going to happen. And once you prepare for the call, it's just like that. You were prepared. When I met you 7 days ago and I heard you on that interview and I said, boom, and I put that camera on you and you've been doing everything, you're not doing 2 takes, you're not doing 3 takes, you're not doing 4 takes. I say, hey, here's the subject matter, video, go. Boom. Hit it. And I'm just laughing to myself because as a producer, as a person that does marketing, as a person who actually loves people that understand speaking and how you roll things out, I said, man, this boy was prepared. This boy was prepared for this day.
It's in me, not on me.
It's in you, brother.
Yeah.
So that would be the one thing for anybody, from me. It's better to be prepared and not called
And called.
than
and not
called and not prepared.
prepared. I like it. I like
Yeah.
That was one time for my big brother, Jay.
Yeah, it's hard for me not to piggyback off of him. I'm gonna stay on my lane real quick. I would tell the listeners right now to make a pact with yourself. Like, like people make pacts in the streets. They get in covenant, and covenant just basically means like I agree to. So when you join a gang, you get jumped in. That's a covenant. It's like I agree to. I'm gonna be faithful to this, whatever it is. When's the last time you made a pact with yourself?
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh,
When's the last time you made covenant with yourself? I went 2 years one time without cursing, just to prove I could do it. It was a pact that I made with myself. It was nobody else's business.
Right.
I would say I went 3 years with no meat, just fish. It's a pact I made with myself. Nobody else's business. Just I'm exercising my character to make pacts with myself. While the rest of the world's making pacts with the streets, they're making pacts with organizations and selling their soul. I'm just practicing making a pact with myself so I can like exercise my character, right? I would say for the last 14 years, I've been maybe 90% no meat. It's just, it's a lifestyle now. And when's the last time you made a pact with yourself? Impact. I'm packed.
Hey, come on now. Come on.
Let's go.
Let's go. I like that.
J-Dub. Drop
the mic, okay?
That's why he big bro. That's what he do.
I want to. Both of y'all said. I love what y'all said right there, and I want to add this in there. So when I changed my life, when God, I was sitting in jail. I told God, man, if you can get me out of jail, I'll do your will. I was facing 120 years in prison, and I knew that this can't be my life. My life cannot be. I was not born to rot in a prison.
Right.
And I remember reading this story about a guy named Jacob. And Jacob, and this is where this one. I'm big on words, and I was looking up one day what the word obsession means. Okay. And the root word would tell you, like, this a Latin word. A lot of our English is from Latin. So it says Latin word is obsedere. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? To sit across from. And I'm like, how is obsession mean to sit across from? But instantly I thought about Jacob, right? And Jacob, he led this life that created a lot of enemies. And he's at this place where he's about, he sees his brother and a whole army about to come the next morning to come across and possibly destroy him because he's betrayed his brother. He's a swindler and all this stuff, right? And he goes to sleep and he lays down on a rock, goes to sleep and has a vision. An angel comes down, right? And he's wrestling with this angel all night long. He's just wrestling and wrestling and wrestling. And some of us are in a place where we've been wrestling all of our life. We feel like, man, when is this wrestling going to end? Well, the angel then turns to Jacob and says, let me go. And they sit across from each other on a rock. He said, let me go, for the day is about to break. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, some of y'all's day is about to be here. You're about to come into a new season. But you got to be like Jacob at this very moment, because this is what Jacob did. Jacob told that angel, man, I'm not about to let you leave until you bless me. I'm not about to let you leave until you change my life.
Yeah.
So when I read the word obsession, it means to sit across from him. I thought about him sitting across from that angel. And he said, I'm not letting you leave until you bless me.
It's powerful.
And
bro.
that angel came and touched him on his hip and caused his hip to be knocked out. And so in that culture, they consider the hip bone to be sacred, to represent Jacob. But his walk was different, right? And it takes an obsession for your walk to change.
That's good.
Right. And man, and like you said, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Like, you got to prepare before the call.
Yeah.
And I've been, for 20 years, since 2005, I wrote everything in a book that I was going to do and accomplish, because I had a vision that God was going to make it happen. I remember at 10 years old, I told my dad I'm going to be an entrepreneur. He said, you're going to shovel manure? I said, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. He said, boy, you don't even know how to spell entrepreneur. And when life went the wrong way, I started having, and that's why I asked you guys, like, if somebody's at this place where they, self-abusive at this point because we failed so much and all these different things, like, how do you get bounced back from that? For me, if it wasn't for Christ, I wouldn't have, I don't think I've ever would have found my purpose. I don't think I've ever would have learned who I am. And I definitely wouldn't have decided to get locked in. But it was because I said, man, I told God, no matter how many times I backslide, fall, mess up, I'm going to get back up.
That's what's up, man.
I mean, if the blood is at the cross and it's there for me, and you told me if I just put it on a doorpost, you did the rest of the work, then all I got to do is just keep getting back up.
Yeah.
If I fail, that's why I'm not afraid of sin. I think we're all going to fall. I'm an imperfect person. I'm imperfectly perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect, however you want to put it, right? And so mine is obsession.
That's what's up, bro.
Right,
That's
and
powerful.
and to see this
I have a
coming, and
question.
I love how you did that with the impact.
Yeah.
and
Unpack. Let's get it.
I love that.
All right. So when you said I got locked in, were you talking about being locked up, or when you locked into being committed?
No, I got locked into this vision
Okay.
that was set before me.
So you got locked up
Bro, I was thinking the same.
So
Got
you-
locked up and then locked
so
in.
you can get locked
Locked
in.
He's
in.
over there
I
coming
was
up
You got-
with
thinking
you gotta
the
work that. You gotta
same-
work that.
I swear.
See
I
how
was
good he is?
thinking the
So he's a
same-
brand guy.
I was thinking.
So
the
that's a good
same
brand.
thing.
Locked
That's
up and
cold.
locked in.
I got locked up
to
get
get locked
to
in.
get locked in
J-Dub.
because
I promise you.
Really?
bro,
I believe you.
I promise you.
I
I was
believe
thinking
you.
the same
I believe you.
thing. I was gonna wait for the camera cut off.
all right. So here it is, locked up to get locked in, right? And you got
That's the name of your book,
120
bro.
years. Who gets 120 years and says this is not my life?
Boy.
What?
Praise
Yeah.
God.
You got 120 years. This is your life.
Yeah, that was exactly where I was.
It's exactly. It is a life sentence.
Yeah.
So to have the confidence inside you, to have that impact,
Yes, sir.
where you would say to yourself, "This is not my life."
This is not me.
Do you know how much confidence? That's like being like that's like having stage 4.5 cancer,
Praise God.
and you're laying on your deathbed,
Praise God.
and you say, "This is not for me." What?
Wow. Praise God.
How do you clock out of something that's a life sentence?
Wow.
So that giant that lives in you is a monumental statement
Period.
for you to say, I got 120 years and this is not my life. What?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
That is a giant from
Yeah.
within begging to get out.
Yeah.
And you participated.
Yeah.
You participate in your own rescue, man. So congratulations.
Congratulations, bro.
I want you to know that is not normal. That statement is not normal.
1,000%.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, hey, we're here. We're here now, right?
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys for being on the podcast, man.
Yeah, man.
This is super exciting. Love the conversation. Hope everybody at home is going to get this value.
Oh yeah.
And
100%.
if you guys need to find these guys, want to learn how to get locked in with these guys, want to get some mentorship from these guys, can you tell them how they can reach out?
Absolutely. You can it's scrolling right now underneath because I know my boy's gonna do it. Check me out at Wimbrey on anything, Wimbrey.com. You'll find me.
That's right. And definitely holler at me at Dream Motivates on everything. And I mean everything.
Yeah.
right.
Honor and privilege being here, man. J-Dub, Love you, bro.
Love you too, brother.
Pat, super proud of you, bro.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? This whole podcast is going to outlive you, bro.
Absolutely.
Keep growing.
Let's make some impact.
Let's do it. Awesome.
We out.
All right, guys.